How do you strategize? How do you work with James O'Keefe to decide how and when you're going to release this information? Because you know damn well that the minute it goes, you're cut off, and they'll try to destroy you in as much as they can. But you're out alone in the desert as of the moment you make the announcement. How did you strategize and come up with the way to do it?
Well, I knew they'd probably try to hurt me when I left them and told the truth. The main thing is just telling the truth about them, which I just felt such a duty to do that, because everything that was going down involved the viewers. If it was like some internal dispute of me and my boss not liking each other or something, that's a private matter. But this directly involved the content of the news and Fox trying to manipulate the narrative. So I was like, it's the viewer's duty it's the viewer's right to know why I'm leaving. I want out because I can't be controlled like this in a deceptive way for the viewers, and the viewers need to know that these are deceptive narratives. So anyway, I just knew that I had to tell them somehow, and I was like, well, Project Veritas is a pretty big platform to make that happen, but I was just going to turn over the recordings, and I thought Project Veritas would just like put some of the recordings on their YouTube and people would know, and I'd go on my way. But then I sat down, it was actually last April, I sat down for dinner with James and some of his staff, and they said, we think you should call out Fox Live on air. And, I was just like, I don't think that's necessary. Why would I do that? And they were like, well, it would reach more people. I was like, that's true. But I don't know about all that. And so I resisted for, over a month. And finally, I was racking my brain. I was talking to lawyers and stuff about how to get out of this contract. And I realized that there was no good way to get out of the contract. And that if I could just call out Fox Live on air, when you're dealing with a corrupt organization that is fine with hurting you, the more your only protection could be the masses. So if I called it out live on air and got everyone involved, got the viewers involved, that was my best protection, in addition to alerting more people about what's really going on. So it just dawned on me shortly before I did it that that was actually the best move. And while it was a nerve-wracking move to call them out live on air, that it was actually going to alert more people about the compromised news biz and actually protect me from Fox, because Fox, they're going to want to run and hide in a hole after I do that rather than persecute me.
Well, you get fired the same day, I presume, like within an hour. Do you know what happens internally at Fox? Did anyone tell you what happened internally once you aired that, or do you have any idea?
So after I called them out live on air, it was just nothing. One of the producers actually accidentally called me and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and hung up. And then my boss called me a couple hours later and asked, why did I do this? And I was like, you know exactly why, because she and I had countless heated conversations about the propaganda. And so she's like, okay, I get it. And then so she calls me back at like 11 p.m. because I went live at 5 p.m. 11 p.m. she finally calls me back and says, you're suspended. It wasn't till the next day that a third party who's not associated with the company dropped a line to me that Fox was firing me, which I was like, this is very strange. Why isn't Fox telling me directly? And then a week later, I received snail mail that said I was fired. So it's really
I can hypothesize as to why it was a third party that called you and told you, in that they presume you're recording the conversation again, and they don't want to be on record saying anything that if they have a third party do it, that guy is not authorized to say anything on behalf of Fox except for you're fired. Yeah, it's funny in a sad way, in that, you're burning bridges, but you're burning bridges in a sense, and then also laying a foundation for an even bigger bridge in the long run. You get fired. Did they sue you? I mean, I actually don't know what happened after that. Did they sue you? Did you sue them? Is there any litigation pending?
None of us have sued each other so far, but Fox did defame me multiple times now. As soon as they fired me, as soon as they parted ways with me, they actually wrote up a defamatory statement that they sent out to all of the media. Talking about how I was a disgruntled former employee who had, was creating deceptive narratives just because I was a disgruntled former employee. I'm like, that's an obvious lie because I wasn't a former employee when they were employing me on air, as I called them out. It's not a former employee. I was disgruntled about the propaganda. I was disgruntled. That part was right.